All right, I'm back. I was watching TikTok earlier, and I seen a prank. It was a prank. This girl, she was holding a mannequin, and she was kissing the mannequin, and she had the clothes of her boyfriend on the mannequin. So the mannequin's dressed up like her boyfriend, and she's kissing this mannequin in the mouth, I guess. So the guy's banging on the door. She won't answer the door. So he kicks the door down. He comes in. Immediately, he hits the mannequin in the mouth like it was a guy. Barely missed her mouth by 10 inches. Knocked the mannequin out. The woman cracks up. The guy's like, why are you playing with me like this? I mean, this dude could have did a lot of things. If he had a gun, he could have blew her head off. He could have hit her, but he had perfect aim. He hit that mannequin. This could have been fake, or it could have been real. Who knows? I'm gonna tell you one thing. If he was a real one, and he acted like a real one in this video, this is what we're gonna talk about today. These women are in love with a real one. They think these guys are simps. See, some of these real ones look like simp. And I'm going to tell you today about a guy named Victor, who his wife thought he was a simp, and he turned out to be a real one. I'm going to give you the story. Okay, this guy named Victor, he married this girl. We're going to say her name's Jennifer, right? Well, Jennifer done, the things that typical women do. First thing is Jennifer, as soon as she had a baby, she moves in the mother. So now you got the mama, Jennifer, and the kid living with Victor. Victor's a quiet guy. He don't say too much, puts up with it. He's going to church. I guess he accepted the mother-in-law, and you know how mother-in-laws is. And so they're all living in his house, right? So she has another baby. Okay, that's 4. And then they have another baby. They have a little baby. So they got 3 babies, Jennifer, and the mother-in-law, and Victor. They all living in this house. They go to church together. Well, anyway, Victor's a quiet guy. He's very quiet, right? So Victor said, you know what? I'm going on a trip. I'm going on a trip to visit my brothers, right? So he goes all the way to North Carolina. He's in Bakersfield, California. So he's in Bakersfield, California. He gets on a plane. He flies to North Carolina. He gets out there. He visits his brother. Matter of fact, he got 2 brothers. He's got another brother in Ohio. So he rents a car and he goes to his other brother in Ohio. So he visited his brother in North Carolina. He visited his brother in Ohio. Victor's gone about 4 or 5 days. The 5th day, early in the morning, about 8 o'clock, Vic get a phone call. Man, you need to come home to Bakersfield immediately. Talk to the police. So Victor comes home. He goes to the police station. They say, hey, Victor, we got some bad news, man. What? Man, your whole family dead. And it was only one survivor. So Victor's looking at him. It's like, one survivor? Yeah, your daughter, Coco. She survived the baby. He's like, oh, what? Can I see my daughter? Can I see my daughter? And they was just like, well, she's in, the police has her. And they're trying to figure out this crime. But, but we want to ask you some questions before we let you see your daughter, right? So Victor's there with his brother. So he basically was saying, do you know anybody that want to hurt you or your family? Because your whole family's dead. The mother-in-law's dead, your wife's dead, both your son and your daughter's dead. And we want to know, did you know anything? And then he was like, no. Then they was like, well, where was you at? He said, I was in North Carolina visiting my brother. So his brother, yes, I'm his alibi. He was with me, right? And he's got another brother in Ohio. You could call him and ask him, right? So the police is like, okay. And then Victor offered up. He said, to prove I was in North Carolina on the days that, that this happened, he gave the police some receipts from Target, from Home Depot, these 3 receipts. And they was date, time, the day of the murder. So Victor's in North Carolina when all these murders happened. So they got, he's gone. Victor got an alibi. Victor didn't kill his wife, so they're going to go and find out who killed his wife, right? But just then, probably about, the news is starting to get around to the church and stuff. So this girl who used to date Victor was like, hey, I know Victor seemed like a real nice guy. She came to the police station. But Victor got he's got a temper. And they was like, the guy that came in here, Victor, she said, yeah, I was dating him. And one day I said something to make him mad. And he beat me up. I mean, he started punching me in the face. He whipped my butt. I called the police on him. I got a restraining order against him. You can look on there. His name is Victor Brothers, right? So police looked it up. Victor Brothers, assault against this lady. But this was like 7, 8 years ago. So they was like, whoa, we need to get Victor back in here. And we need to look at these receipts, right? So they said, before you get him back in there, we're going to fly to North Carolina and we're going to look and see if it was actually Victor at these places, Target, North Carolina, all these places, right? So they fly out to North Carolina and they look at the timestamp. It had the date of the murder, 5 o'clock, boom. They go in there and they said, can we see your surveillance cameras? So they was like, yes. So make a long story short, they look and it wasn't Victor because this guy's taller than Victor. But they was making all these purchases on the receipt. Matter of fact, it was the brother. It was Victor Brothers' brother who was actually making the receipts in North Carolina at the time that Victor was supposed to be making these receipts. So they go to Ohio and find out Victor never made it to Ohio, but he did rent a car. So they go to the rent-a-car company. And the rent-a-car company, they said, can we see the car that Victor drove to Ohio? And they was like, well, we don't know where he went, but there's a car out there. So they go out there, they look at the car. And on the front of the car was bugs. And these bugs was only on the West Coast. These bugs aren't East Coast bugs. And it was stuck in his fender. So they was like, wait a minute. So they knew then, hey, this car has been to the West Coast. So they asked the people, do you know about this car? Did this car come from the California, Arizona, or any place like that? They said, no. That car is pretty much a brand new car, but he put like 4,000 miles on this car. So, oh man, they figured it out. What happened was, so they go arrest Victor. What happened was Victor flew all the way to North Carolina, rented a car, drove all the way back to Bakersfield, came in early one morning, opened the keys, and he blew his wife's head off. He killed her in her sleep. He killed his kid. He killed all of them asleep. The mother-in-law came around the corner and she heard what was going on. She had a gun. She shot at Victor. Victor looked at her. It didn't come off. Victor blew her away. She died in the hallway. Victor didn't see the baby, the newborn baby, so he leaves. The baby, luckily, the baby, little Coco, was under a pillow. Vic killed his whole family. He killed everybody because this woman tried to play him as a simp. See, she thought he was a simp because she got the mom-in-law living with her. She's having all these kids. It was extramarital affairs, just like women treat every guy that they think is a simp. But see, they got fooled by Victor. Victor was a real one, and she thought he was a simp. Victor came in and killed everybody. So just because a guy is not going off and he's not acting like Ike Turner or Chris Brown, don't mean he's not a real one. Sometimes these women get the simps confused. And they start doing all this. Oh, I'm gonna let my mama move in. I'm gonna let my grandma move in. And they play all these little games. And this is the reason why I tell people not to get married. Because when women get you, they're gonna tear up your lock, they're gonna tear up your credit, they're gonna tear up your pocketbook, they're gonna move their mama in. It's a money grab. These women gonna divorce you, take everything that you got. But see, they tried to play Victor as a simp. And found out that Victor Brothers, he was a real one. That brother was a real one. He came and killed everybody. So women, I'm telling you, stop playing these games with these guys. These guys are real ones. They're not playing these stupid games. And women have another game they play. When you go pick them up, they got their roommate with them. They got their best friend with them. That game, a family member, and the guy's picking up 2 and 3 girls at one time. But listen, guys, all you got to do is when a woman does this, talk to the roommate, talk to the best friend. Whoever she brings in, that's going to be your new best friend. And she'll stop doing it. I promise you. She'll stop doing it. Because all you got to do is take the attention away from her. That's how you handle these situations, man. So if you go pick up a girl and she got a friend with her, you make sure that you talk to that friend. You buy that friend stuff. You go crazy over that friend. That's how you get rid of the friend. Because women don't want to give their attention away for 5 seconds. So that's a little nugget that I'm trying to tell y'all. But y'all women, y'all play these guys as simps, and you're going to